We're going on a trip with our favorite rocket ship, zooming through the sky. Little Einsteins, climb aboard, get ready to explore. There's so much to find. Little Einsteins.
Hey guys, the renovations are finally finished in my room, which means that there is no more echo and I can record way more videos now. I'm really excited for that. I'm going to be posting a bunch of videos in the next couple weeks. But for today, I decided to review Loving. First of all, since I saw it at TIFF a couple of months ago, and second of all, because it has a lot of Oscar buzz right now, and I want to review all the Oscar movies before the nominations are released. So Loving is directed by Jeff Nichols, who also directed another film that came out this year, Midnight Special. I liked Midnight Special. It's not necessarily my favorite film of the year, but it did have a certain charm to it, and I think it's a very interesting sci-fi film. What I like about Jeff Nichols is he takes these big, larger-than-life stories and makes them feel very small, but impactful at the same time. And that's what he does with the story of Richard and Mildred Loving. And basically, if you don't know this story, it's about an interracial couple who are arrested in the state of Virginia, and basically, for their punishment, they either have to leave the state of Virginia or they have to stay in jail. And they decide to fight for this case because it's something they really believe in and they love each other. And I think that Jeff Nichols does a really great job handling this material. It might be off-putting for some people because it's not like 12 Years a Slave or Birth of a Nation where it's like this big, larger-than-life story. It's very small and it feels like an indie movie. But I think that works for the film itself, mostly because it's just more relatable than some of those films. You can connect to the characters more because it feels more natural and real. The performances here were fantastic. Joel Egerton was great. He's definitely going to be nominated for Best Actor. The standout here was Ruth Negga. I think it's her first role. I'm not really sure. She did such a great job, and her performance was so subtle, but it really worked. And she had some great moments in this film. I think the screenplay here is really great. It gives it a very subtle feel that makes it feel more natural, but also the dialogue just feels very natural. And it also has a couple funny moments. It's not all sad and depressing, and I think it gives it a very human touch. I think this is definitely going to be a big Oscar contender. I don't know if it's going to win any of these awards, but it'll definitely be nominated for Best Picture, Actor, Actress, maybe Screenplay, and a couple other nominations. Um, I did have a couple flaws with this film, though. First of all, I did have a couple flaws with this film. I think that it's a very slow film and kind of hard to get used to at first because we're so used to some of these films with like larger than life, very impactful stories. And this is a very impactful story told in a smaller way. And it really takes its time to build. And in some ways that works. I feel like the first act just wasn't as impactful as the later acts. Also, I mentioned comedy before. I feel like some of the comedy doesn't work here and feels kind of random. But for the most part, this is a great movie. I think the performances were great. Joel Egerton and Ruth Negga had great chemistry, and I think they um, they felt very natural together. Jeff Nichols' direction was really great, and the screenplay was really good. Is this the best movie of the year? No, but I think it's a very interesting way to tell a story like this, and I'm gonna give Loving a B plus. Thanks, guys, for watching, and I will be reviewing Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them very soon, as well as some other films. All right, thanks, guys.